Hey guys, so today I'm going to go over some of the best 5x3 engravings that you can use for your bard in Lost Ark. I'll go into detail for each engraving so that you can first understand its usefulness, and then you can decide if it suits your unique playstyle. Unlike DPS, bards have options for engravings to give different types of utility, and there are quite a few great ones to pick from. And if this video helps you out, please like and subscribe. I also stream on Twitch, so catch me there for some live support content. Links in the description. So first, I'd like to go over your core 4x3 engravings before we talk about the fifth one. If you're a swiftness bard, your core engraving should include Awakening for reduced identity skill cooldown and increased usage, meaning more big bubbles and more identity gauge throughout a fight. Super important. Desperate Salvation, which gives bigger heals from the last tick of your identity skill, and Expert, which gives bigger heals and shields overall, especially to low health party members. Heavy Armor is your last core engraving, and it's extremely useful because as a bard, you have the lowest vitality pool in the game, meaning you are squishy. And you also play in melee often to hit skills like Wind of Music and Prelude of Storm to build meter and shield. Heavy Armor 3 makes you very tanky and keeps you alive in so many situations, so I highly recommend using it. That being said, for my own build in the future, after I'm comfortable completing Belshazzar for example, with ancient accessories being added into the game, I'll likely drop Heavy Armor to level 1 or 2 in favor of another ×3 or ×2 utility engraving. I won't be doing this until I'm confident in the future Legion raid fights, as a living bard is much more useful than a dead one, but I just wanted to quickly discuss that this is an option in the future if anyone was interested in it later on. For Spec Bards, your core 4x3 engravings are very similar to Swiftness. You will run Awakening, Heavy Armor, Desperate Salvation, and instead of Expert, you'll run Spirit Absorption to help make up for the lack of move and attack speed that Spec Bards suffer from. Expert also just isn't as useful on a Spec Bard since you heal so much already. And now that we've covered the basics, I'm going to go over some great options for a 5th engraving on Bard. Also, keep in mind, these aren't all the options you can use, these just give great personal utility or team utility to move fights along. If you run a different 5th engraving, let me know in the comments, I love seeing more Bard builds. So let's jump right into it. Unlike DPS classes, running utility engravings on a support class doesn't reduce your personal damage since you already do very little damage. That's why supports are able to run these useful utility engravings and help the team in a variety of situations. The first utility engraving I'd like to go over that is an excellent choice for your 5th engraving is called Vital Hit Point. At level 3, it gives a 30% increased stagger effectiveness, which is a huge chunk of stagger. In situations where DPS lacking stagger could mean a wipe, Clown Gate 3 for instance, when you need to stagger and sometimes solo stagger the boss during Maiden, this engraving will let you carry your team to success on stagger checks. Drops of Ether is the next engraving I'd like to go over, and I know this one seems basic because it is literally the first free engraving you get in the game, but trust me, this feels amazing to run on a support. At level 3 Drops of Ether, every 10 seconds you will drop an Ether mote that either you or your party members can pick up. These motes include DPS boosters like Strength Ethers that give a 10% attack power boost for 30 seconds, and Flash Orb that gives a 15% crit rate for 30 seconds. You can also drop Wind motes that increase movement speed, and MP motes that are great for you to pick up to restore your own mana pool. These motes drop at random, but regardless of what they drop, they always offer some form of utility to the team. Next up, I want to talk about a mana engraving, and if you're a Spec Bard, you can skip this one because you don't need it. This is the 5th engraving I personally run on my main Swiftness Bard because I love the consistency I bring with a full mana pool, and it's called Max MP Increase. This engraving allows me to use skills off cooldown during large damage windows without waiting for my mana to regenerate. It also ensures that I'm able to always hit my meter building skills, like Prelude of Storm and Wind of Music, with no downtime, letting me consistently build Serenade meter to either heal or damage buff. I also want to clarify that I personally rank this MP engraving over the other 2 MP engravings in the game, since it increases, and this is very important, your mana pool. MP efficiency increase only gives additional mana recovery and an attack buff that you don't really need, and Magic Stream only gives mana recovery while you're not attacked. The cooldown reduction on this one is alright, but it goes away if you don't have full stacks by not getting attacked, which isn't as optimal in hectic Legion raid fights. However, the main downside to the other two MP engravings is that they increase mana recovery and not your mana pool, which means that your mana will run out faster regardless of the recovery rate, since you simply aren't recovering as much per tick with a small starting pool. Since setting up my max MP increase engraving, I have never run out of mana in any fight so far. So I highly recommend running this engraving if that's the playstyle that you're looking for. And one last honorary engraving that I'll recommend if you're simply looking to carry more consumables is Explosives Expert. At level 3, it will let you carry 3 more bomb/battle items into the fight. I highly recommend trying these engravings out in Trixion to get a feel for them and see if you like them before committing. Remember, play what's fun for you and your playstyle, as you have a lot of versatility as a bard. I hope that this video helped you out, and let me know in the comments what 5x3 setup you're looking to run. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.